I did have this, which I haven't tested, but I think it's kind of interesting. I'm gonna save the other decks I mentioned earlier to brew for tonight. But the idea is so we had the thought of playing the iced coffee deck without Karn to get access to a sideboard. Now we tried it, and there were some things I liked about it. There's some things I didn't like about it. But I was like, we were trying like Liliana's and Emrakul's in the main still, but like I just kind of had the thought, what if we play cut ribbons as our win condition instead? Which is honestly like really risky, especially with like we're also still weak to surgical, but I was kind of thinking maybe we just main deck the cut ribbons as the win condition, and then we can sideboard the Emrakul. And what's nice about this is it keeps the mana curve lower. We don't have any of these big clunky cards in our deck. We have we're like really, really in on Icetill, setting us up for late game cut ribbons. We get to play Inquisitions in the main, which I've been really wanting to do, and we get to play Culling Rituals in the main, which is something I also really want to do. So I know, kind of a weird plan, but especially like with what our matchups have been today, I think I'm pretty into the idea. Let's do this. I think I'm a third Duress. Let's try two Emrakuls on the side. Yes, no ghost quarters for Icetill. This is I'm gonna assume that you haven't seen any of the other builds of this deck, but you do not need ghost quarter. You win the game in the late game basically every time without it. You don't want to be reducing your lands in play. So I think this is gonna be a fun one to close today up with. I've been kind of chewing on this one a little bit. I wasn't sure when we'd get around to it, but it feels like today is really appropriate with like a lot of stuff untested in the to do. Why not Rakdos Return? I don't know if that's a serious question. What's kind of funny about that question to me is why not any fireball? What's nice about Cut Ribbons is a black fireball. It requires black mana that gets flashed back. So you can mill it over with Icetill Explorer, which is great. But it also is a removal spell early that wins the game in the late game. Like, of course, the answer to why not Rakdos Return or Consume Spirit or any stupid giant X spell is that this is a removal spell early and is also a win the game card late, right? Of course, that's the answer. You got that. You've been doing this a long time. Do you ever get down when you lose an event, or does it kind of roll off my back at this point? I am the kind of competitor where I enjoy losing. I enjoy it's like the ups and the downs I enjoy just as I like the ups. Like the crushing defeats are part of the fun. I don't know exactly how to articulate that, but I enjoy feeling like I'm getting sharper because I'm losing. Yeah, it's like it's not the best removal spell ever, but it is just like an early removal spell that you could use, and it will win you the game in the late game. And the entire point of playing Cut Ribbons as your removal spell of choice here over any big stupid spell you're going to suggest is that it's good early and wins the game late, and we already have a very good late game, and we just don't need to have a better late game. Is kind of the working theory here. It's really important that like the few cyborg slots you have access to go to being able to remove Fatal Push post board. I also really, really wanted to play some Inquisitions. And so getting Inquisitions in there is nice. Possible Dreams of Steel and Oil is better right now. So looks like we're playing against the Leog deck. Let's take the Pride, I guess. Onyx. So again, what I do not want to do this stream is ask about all of the big top end cards. The entire purpose of this build is to just play without all of the bad top end cards. That is the stated goal. Heliod's really tough to deal with. Let's just go and take that. It's like, despite Onyx and Emrakul being like the best, maybe these are the best big expensive cards you can play, but you still have like a 6 mana value card in your modern deck, right? You just still have a 6 mana value card in your modern deck when you include it. And our entire goal today is to try to eliminate that. All right, let's keep that. A little bit awkward with not having a second green source. We could try to Revelation into one. They graveyard a Temple Garden. They do play the Ranger Captain. And they get a Ocelot Pride. So we're going to Edict the Ranger Captain, and we're going to hope to Revelation into some green mana. We want to... I don't think we want to tap the coffers, because we want to maybe be able to just Surveil here. We miss, but we could take another Revelation, which is maybe just good, because when we go for the Icetill, we're going to have so much mana. Yeah, there we go. Although we do graveyard both Culling Rituals, which is kind of funny. So next turn we can go cast Icetill off Urborg, Mortuary Swamp, but then we're one short of also activating Coffers after that. We can activate Coffers before. That's either like one short of flashing back Revelation or it's exactly enough. I'm not really sure. So their hand is Starfield Shepherd, Ocelot Pride, and then 2 unknown cards, I believe. Halia. Might get Guided Souls, but I think they're probably going to get a Ballista. Oh, they get another Pride. Okay, well, fair enough. Yeah, Fate from History is really important so you can clean up Kappas. But we might have too many sideboard cards against Affinity, although with the way the leagues have been going, I'm not even sure that that's a possible thing to be true. Okay, another Icetill is a good draw. Yeah, sorry. So I definitely miscounted on the amount of mana we'd have post Icetill here. That's okay. I probably just Surveil main phase, just in case they have a Solitude for the Icetill. I want to get the Surveil now. We don't care too much about this because we can just replay it off the Icetill if a Cut Ribbons does indeed get stuck in our hand, which we're more likely to mill one. So their hand is Ocelot Pride, 3 mystery cards. Not sure what this is. Is Icetill the kind of card that gets better with time rather than worse? I suppose so. I mean, it gets better the more good lands are printed. Macarpa, the Twitch Prime, thank you. Welcome back. Then they Cauldron, Bliss on 0 so they can trigger their Pride. They have their hand is Pride mystery card. So they're probably going to sack the Ranger Captain this turn, but that's kind of okay. Unless they have a Cauldron to start looping Ranger Captain. We're actually really weak to that. Really weak to that. But unless they do that, we should be okay. I guess we could try to find a Cling to Dust. Yeah, let's prioritize finding Cling to Dust. I'm even gonna just like mill myself here. And just like Surveil, just only really caring about finding a Cling to Dust. To not get got by Cauldron, Ranger Captain here. And then I'm gonna fetch in response to these triggers so I can find my other basic swamp and then mill the others. And I do find a Cling to Dust, so I'm gonna play another Coffers. I haven't milled a Cut Ribbons yet, but we should be able to win the game if we find one next turn. We have a lot of mills to find one. Pretty fun. I also have, I guess, these to find it. Is plot a replacement effect for play like Suspend? That's a good question. I'm not sure if we could have plotted or not. I don't think so. I'm sorry I'm turning late. And you might have said this. What problem does Karn have that you're solving with Cut Ribbons? The problem with Karn is you don't get a sideboard, and with Karn in the deck, it's basically impossible to fit Culling Ritual, because the few sideboard slots you have need to be dedicated to cutting Fatal Push. They can't be dedicated to bringing in more creature removal. So with me really wanting to play Culling Ritual and have a more cheap interactive deck in general, the plan is trying to win the game without Karn, so you can get a sideboard. And so Cut Ribbons I think is just the best way to do that. You can plot the Ranger Captain. Okay, cool. Again, probably not going to be relevant here, but good to know. Notably, they cannot put another Ranger Captain into play on this board. They are gonna have a lot of life. I don't know. I don't know if we're really in a spot where like we're just if we could win the game with cut ribbons. We haven't done a lot of math on this yet. Oh, okay. I still have the the Blood Crypt in the yard. I obviously was not supposed to exile this many lands. Shouldn't be that big a deal. Okay, there we go. All right, I think now I'll just exile the Ballista maybe, since they have all creatures left. Although I guess I would have to exile a Revelation, which I don't want to do. So let's just chill. Push the guide. Sure. A little late. Again, it just doesn't seem to matter. Maybe it does. I feel like we're just definitely gonna win. I'm gonna go pillage the bog, and I'm gonna pillage the bog twice. I'm gonna find another Cabal Coffers. And then so I'm gonna bottom both copies of cut ribbons. Maybe I should grab cut ribbons now. How many cards is this? This is okay. It should be fine. It should be fine. So we're gonna go grab this, play this. I find another Cabal Coffers. And then there's the cut ribbons. I kind of don't know how it came. I guess it got shuffled, right? It is random order. All right, so they're at 29. Surely we have that much mana. Yeah, we have way more than enough. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. Culling Ritual should be pretty good against them. I did build their deck, huh? I'm a little bit worried about Cauldron exiling cut ribbons, so I think I should play an Emrakul. Also, kind of nice out to the Ranger Captain stuff, right? Maybe when I bring in Emrakul, I could just kind of always cut one cut ribbons. That seems fine. Probably just going to play one. Could maybe play two. I like the cheap discard spells. I like the Culling Rituals a lot. Maybe I'm just going to go down like 2 Explorers. Could go down maybe 1 Explorer, 1 Pillage. Not sure. Basically never cut the Revelations. They're just so important. Like churn through the deck. It's like also cut ribbons kind of has the opposite problem all the other win cons have, where you mill so much with your Icetills, you become kind of paranoid that you're going to mill all your win conditions, but cut ribbons you just want to mill. Kind of Thoughtseize maybe. I think Thoughteize is really important. They are a combo deck. I think Thoughtseize is really good against them. Would you say the best Icetill shell in Modern is? This might be it. I mean, Icetill's good in green-red Eldrazi. I don't know how good green-red Eldrazi is. Is there a win through Graveyard Hate? Well, depends on what the Graveyard Hate is, I guess. We do have Culling Rituals, and we've got Emrakuls. I guess I'm going to keep this on a multi-6. Do you have any way to get it out of hand? Cut ribbons? You just cast it. I have a Blood Crypt in the deck. Okay, opponent's on a multi-5 on the play. Hopefully can surveil into some early plays. That's an early play. I've seen Amulet play Icetill. I don't think it's particularly good there. Stupid question, no splash red. I don't. We are playing a Blood Crypt. We had Blood Crypt in play last game. It's in the Mox field. Yes, you should play. You should play a land that can cast your spells. I'm Aspiring Spike. I know how to build decks. You can. This is a pro deck building tip. You need a land that you can play your spell with. Okay, this is a bit awkward. I only have 1 basic left, and if I kill this next turn, then I don't have double green, but now I'm gonna have double green. So I'm just gonna go cut this, I think. I don't want them to sneak the Phantom with a Leo. Yes, we have instants, we have creatures, we cannot play Umori. So they have the Cauldron. So now it's very dangerous if I mill my Emrakul. Maybe I should just have 2 Emrakuls in. Let's just not mill it. I guess we could technically win with Icetill beatdowns too. Maybe it's too risky to have left them with the Leo there because I am dead to a Ballista. Although there's only 2 Ballistas in the deck, but there's a lot of tutors for Ballista. They go to Surveil. They keep a card on top. Now they would have graveyarded a Ballista, but maybe it's a tutor for Ballista. It's a Teague. So Teague turns off just Culling Ritual. And there it is. So we're going to graveyard this because we can't cast it because of the Teague. It would have been an awesome top deck if they hadn't drawn the Teague there. Although now we found a Sheoldred's Edict. Ribbons as well. The Ribbons has been exiled to Cauldron if you mean that's my only win con. I'm only playing 2 Ribbons. I sided one out because I boarded in Emrakul, kind of anticipating this dynamic happening. So if I guess I'm going to graveyard this. I did also mill a Revelation. The problem is they can Cauldron both of them, but I've got a lot of good things to Cauldron here, so it's okay. Like if they're doing this, they're not exiling both my Marsh Flats, which that might just be a win for me. Oh, Teague turns off cut ribbons, I see. Sorry. Understand now. All right, then they exile my Cling to Dust. Then they play the Leo. A lot of good top decks here. Don't know what we're doing with this. Thinking about attacking. Interesting. So I guess I should make them sack the Leo, and then if they sack the Teague instead, then we can Ritual. But we'll do this before they can assemble the combo, and then we'll do this before we commit to the mana. Yeah, it seemed like they were never not sacking the Teague there. So again, if we mill the Emrakul, the game gets tougher. That's okay, though. Sometimes you can play a tough game. Milled the Blast Zone, which I love to see. I'm definitely going to play this Blast Zone instead of the Cabal Coffers, although... yeah, I don't have... I'm out of land drops, right? Yeah, out of land drops. So maybe they're going to exile my Coffers next turn. That's going to be okay. Definitely great one to have in this matchup. I guess they will be able to... they will be able to Cauldron the Blast Zone, so I can only use it one time. I still beat a plan. I have an Emrakul still in the deck, but if I mill the Emrakul, then yes, we're on I still beat down plan. They play a Damping Sphere into my Blast Zone. I don't know if I would have done that there. Cut doesn't have Exodus cost. I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, look, there's an X. Oh, cut. Sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, you can still cast cut. Notably, they did not Cauldron my Coffers, so I can go and play the Coffers. I do have a bunch of swamps in play despite not having found an Urborg. Maybe they'll exile my Revelation now. They do decide to do that. I guess I'll play Overgrown Tomb tapped. And then we'll play this Cabal Coffers number 2. See if we mill another flashback spell. We do not. Pretty excited about the Blast Zone. Gonna get in for 4. Don't lose to a Grange here. Wait, okay, so but they can put a Grange counter on the Teague to buy themselves a turn. So maybe their plan is to try to find a White Orchid Phantom for my Blast Zone, and then Phantom the Blast Zone, and then Cauldron it. And they just concede. Okay, great. So 1-0. I'm gonna have to like click this one out myself probably, but if it works, it's interesting. Although the thing is, it does I don't know if it actually accomplishes anything. I'd love one layer of the Hydra. I guess that's just bad. You could play Lair. You could play Lair. I think it's like competes with the Blast Zone spot, and I've liked Blast Zone a lot, but you could play it. Soulstone could be nice ramp and win conflict creatures. The thing is, you really, really, really do not want to play any ramp in this archetype that is not land based. You want all of your ramp to put lands into play really, really badly. All right, we'll keep that. So maybe we can go next turn. Icetill land into Pillage the Bog looking for Culling Ritual. Spatoo with the 50 months. Welcome back. Instead of Fade from History, I've thought about Nature's Claim or Pick Your Poison. It lets you kill. So the main purpose of Fade from History is to kill Kappa Cannoneer. A Kappa Cannoneer that is in play. I think with the other Icetill in my hand, I can afford to just play this from my hand. Pretty easy. Save my life total. And then next turn, if the Icetill lives, then I get 14 looks, not including my draw step at a Culling Ritual. No, I'm not playing a basic forest. We could be playing a basic forest. The thing is, it doesn't let you help cast Icetill through Cabal Coffers, but maybe we're a little weak to Blood Moon right now. So right now this is 4-5 damage, putting me down to 8. I'm dead to Bombardment, but they probably would have played Bombardment main phase 1. I don't want to flip the Ajani because of the warrior tokens. I think I'm just going to go down to 8. Gator with the 43 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They have a second Ajani, which I don't think I'm quite dead to. They also might kill Icetill. One problem is that they target me. I don't actually have another basic swamp in the deck, and I won't be able to pillage the bog into. I won't be able to pillage the bog into Culling Ritual unless I find an Urborg or Cabal Coffers for my like second land drop or Gust Draw step. But they might just kill the Icetill. They do target me, and I'm at 2. I draw a copy of Explore. So let me go. I think Blood Crypt tapped first. I did not mill an Urborg or Cabal Coffers. So I don't know what my plan is now. If I do find the Culling Ritual, I cannot cast it. Maybe I should have fetched Travailed first. I don't think if I find a... Maybe if I find a Cabal Coffers off this, I could do something. I don't think so. You could pose the Culling. Why not? I do not... I guess I'll say this again. I don't have another basic in the deck. So I cannot... I do have not enough life. Okay, so Culling Ritual, I think minus Thoughtseize. Need to think, do I want to play Emrakul? Let's try no Emrakuls for the first time. Sorry. On the play. Gonna keep. Never Trinisphere over Thoughtseize. I'm not really of the opinion Trinisphere is very good against Boros. I'm a little bit interested in talking about it, I guess, but they're a deck that's like super comfortable at playing one spell a turn. They're also a deck that's very good at playing multiple spells a turn, so it's tough. It's tough to spend mana to like ever not impact the board against Boros also. I agree, but maybe. Well, I just need maybe I suppose, but I just would need a little bit more than, maybe IDK. Can't work with maybe. Like Trinisphere is better in Eldrazi because you can play it turn 2 and like turn 2 on the play, and then you can like stop them from playing a spell. We can't really do that. Like when you're always Trinisphereing on turn 3 at the soonest. Hit a revelation here. When you're always Trinisphereing turn 3 at the soonest, it's like you never stop them from playing a spell on their turn. Maybe that's a good way to put it. Great to have double Fatal Push, obviously. his soonest word. It is, but even if it like wasn't, like it's a series of letters, and I know what you mean when you say it, which is maybe even just the definition of a word. Like when people go, that's not even a word, but like you knew exactly what they meant. So I'm pretty pro word being anything, any series of letters that conveys a meaning to someone that speaks the same language as you. So maybe they have a flage. I'm gonna block. They have a Thraben Charm. That's probably the best case scenario between Discharge and Flage. It's gonna go ahead and Surveil now. I'll remember this next time I play Scrabble. Yeah, you can quote me on that. It does seem like the Inquisition will be good this game. I'm gonna keep it. A Johnny Season Pyromancer Bombardment. This is their hand after playing 5 pretty good spells. I don't know what to take. I think I'm gonna take the Johnny. It's okay. We're still pretty ahead, but boy, Boros is Borosing sometimes. The thing is, the Spyro's just not that good. It just refills them here, but we'll just let them refill, I think. I won't be able to level the Bless this turn, so I think I will Surveil. Okay, I will Graveyard this because it's almost impossible for them to kill the Icetill, although they can do that somehow. We're cooked. We do have a Ribbons in the graveyard. I don't know if I'm going to have 15 mana next turn without a second Cabal Coffers. What deck might I be RCQing with in paper? Maybe Dimir Flash. I like playing that deck in paper a lot. I'd maybe play Storm too. I like Storm. All right, play the Blast Zone. Sorry, play the Cabal Coffers. Then play the Blast Zone. The Explorer is mana neutral, so seems fine to cast right now. I find a Pillage the Bog, so let me see if I find, or should I guess maybe I do a little temp check and just how much mana is this? This is 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so if I can pillage into another Coffers, we win. Safi humans with Lieutenant goes super infinite. Don't you need a sack outlet? How are things dying? Yeah, Blue-White Quantum is pretty underrated too. Okay, so going to game 3. Cut Ribbons is looking really good so far. I think this is this is the important thing to be looking at, but it has been it's been pretty good. No, you don't need a sack outlet because you sack with Safi's ability. Interesting. Of course, so yeah, just sacks itself. So you go sack Safi, Cauldron Safi onto Thali's Lieutenant, and then you're just sacking your board. You're sacking your board infinitely. And then you could win with like Arbaz, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's gonna be just slot right into the Relic of Legends combo. Great idea, friend, I think. So Cauldron, Safi, in Relic Humans. I think Relic also triggers a lot of the cards. Hard matchup to mulligan in, hard matchup to keep without like a Culling Ritual or a Fatal Push, but maybe we can find Culling Ritual off the Pillage. I think I'm going to keep this on the draw against Boros. Although one thing is, I'm not currently playing Lieutenant in that deck, but could probably make it work. Oh, it doesn't have to be the Legends version anyways, although I do think that that's like the best human core. They do have a turn 1 Ragavan, which is bad. Well, they don't have anything else right now. This could be good. They could just draw really well too. You just need a human that's a makes. Wait. You need a human that makes a body because that's like almost doesn't exist, or it's at least not very interesting. like Bowmaster. Like to need that and also need Lieutenant is tough. But you're right, you do go down a creature each time you do the loop. They drew a Guide of Souls off the top. We drew a Polluted Delta. No time to wait. Okay. I'm going to take the Culling Ritual, I think. I'm only really feeling comfortable enough to do this because I have Cling to Dust in my hand. But I think most of the time, knowing that they don't have any other spells in their hand right now, the Cling to Dust is going to buy me the extra turn to just sweep this board with Culling Ritual. And then it also cleans up a lot of the top decks, not all of the top decks. They flip over the Blast Zone. So no, none of that this game. There's the 2/1/1 human non-human. I don't know. I just also needing like a Bowmaster human makes me a lot less excited about this loop. Maybe you play Renegade Rallier. My opponent top decked Legend of Roku. It's like very annoying. And they hit a Johnny Goblin Bombardment. And we're dead. Okay. It definitely won't because it'll be mid RCQ season. I honestly just don't feel like that matters very much, but whatever. Like, is there precedent for Wizards like caring about like banning stuff during RCQ season? Maybe there is, and I just totally don't know. But to me, this just feels like one of those things people say. Like the first Pro Tour I ever qualified for, they banned Cat Combo like 2 weeks after. There's just like maybe this is like something they don't want to do anymore. It not a known sniper, but when an opponent takes like a full minute to show up, I put the hand hider up. Wow, Guide of Souls. I'm gonna lead on the Thoughtseize here. Bombardment and a Johnny are both pretty scary. And they have both, and they also have a Voice of Victory. Guess I'm gonna take the Johnny, and I would love to draw a land next turn so we can go explore into Fatal Push. They've mentioned before. Okay, if they mentioned it, that's good. But I just for me, I just can't really ever recall them doing this, so I'm just not sure that there's actually basis there. Where just specifically said they weren't banning VV because they were good. Okay, I'm willing to be totally wrong on this. It's just for me, I just wasn't sure that this is the kind of thing people just say or if it's based in reality. So I don't know if I can afford to just cast the Explorer. I do just almost lose immediately if I miss. Yeah, and I kind of have to hit another land anyways. It's just Bush. I wish WotC would explain where they get their data from to determine if something needs to be banned. Like there are 6 equally tiered decks, but no one knows the play format because it's solved. What they consider that healthy? Yeah, Wizards is like on these BNRs. They're very clearly, they very clearly intentionally say as little as possible. It's super clear that they just like. There's a lot more conversation that happens behind the scenes probably, but they are not very interested in conveying all the information. And I think rightfully so. Like it's like 14 years later, people still quote turn 4 format as a one-off line in the Splinter Twin ban announcement, and Twin is even like legal again. You know what I mean? Like people just are not. uh, People are very weird about like picking apart every single phrase. Maybe weird's not the word to use, but it makes sense that they're careful with what they say because everything they say gets really picked apart. I want you to consider making Legend of Karuk work in an Izzet shell. I've played Legend of Karuk in an Izzet shell, and you know we don't make things work on this channel. Things either work or they don't. Legend of Karuk is kind of interested in like affinity shells and taking turn shells. Wasn't that good overall. It was okay. Their data this BNR was this good deck got some juice. Resurgence means Modern is constantly changing. Healthy spot. I agree. I agree that their reasoning and their arguments on this BNR were not like good or cohesive, but you just kind of have to read between the lines a little bit. They're just like they're not telling you the truth with like living into back modern is good. That is correct. That's not the truth here. Right, they flipped over a Fatal Push. The turn 4 format is proof. The turn 4 format thing is nothing. I'm not even going to finish reading this comment. It was something from a ban article 14 years ago should not still be in any way the conversation for 2026. It just is like the turn 4 thing is so irrelevant. Y'all need to let it go. I was playing Splinter Twin when Twin was banned. I was upset too. I get it. It is not relevant in 2026. Talk about the past. I didn't even finish reading the comment because it just is irrelevant. I know I brought it up too, but it's just people keep bringing it up, and maybe I should have done it, but it's But this is the point. Is like people will. This is why they're very careful about what they say. This is why the BNR is. And I'm not saying it should be this way, but I'm saying this is why the BNR is an advertisement for living in, is because they're very, very careful with what they say. So they say nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I'll just read the rest of your comment, but maybe that'll be good. The turn 4 format is proof they don't handle bans well. They unbanned a card and it's useless. And they ban Twin and Rob players with their money for what? Yeah, I guess. Okay, this is just it. Twin was banned 14 years ago. I was upset about it then. It's unbanned now. It's just how are we still having Twin dialogue? You know what I mean? It's kind of exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so I want to be able to cast a cut ribbons if I draw one. It's like we need to move on from the fact that Twin was banned 14 years ago. It just cannot continue to dominate conversations. All right, so let's cast a Revelation. Maybe I could have tapped in a way that I could have found a Culling Ritual off this, although it would have been more painful. I do find a Culling Ritual. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to Cling to Dust the Ajani, go to 9, and hope to not be dead. Mostly not dead here. I did cut the Takanuma for the Blood Crypt, so you can exile the Icetill. What was the most impactful card last year other than Riddler? Corey Steelcutter, for sure. People are going to be bad no matter what they say is fine, so we even try to spin anything. I think let's try to see it. Yeah, I don't think it should be this way. I think they should take the heat, and I think they should be more vocal and more honest about the ban list conversations. I'm not saying it should be this way. I think it's bad that they're doing it this way, but anything they say is going to get picked apart, so they say nothing. That's what's happening. I'm just interpreting the data for you there. Well, I thought they had the Exile Blast, so maybe that was last game. All these Boros games blur together, I suppose. So cast the Culling Ritual, but they're going to ping me twice. I don't care about Twin. I care about promising cards in pack. To push packs only to ban cards from the players after they've invested. It feels bad. I mean, I agree it feels bad, but wasn't this like the fact that this Twin was example is used Twins. I guess maybe I just got too focused on the Twin thing, but like Twin is just like it's just at this point so irrelevant that and I'm not accusing you specifically of this part, but like the ratio of which Splinter Twin gets brought up to the ratio to which it is relevant to these discussions is like it's very disproportionate. Oh, sorry. I meant to grab the coffers, although I guess it doesn't matter because we just can replay the coffers here anyways. So I'm at 4 life, which means I can't really die next turn. So it seems like I'm safe enough to draw at least a card here. I mean, I'm not very likely to cast this one, but the other cards are all, freely available to me, I suppose. Do I want another Icetill? I do think that having the self mill is really important. Although the thing is, they can't really break it up. I guess I'll still take it and then hold up a Cling. Guess I could play the Marsh Flats first. We still haven't found a single cut ribbons in. We are only playing 2. Um, okay. So up a game. Did I XL cover rooms? I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm pretty sure I didn't. All right, gonna cut 2 Thoughtseize again. I thought, but I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think that happened last game. But maybe I'm misremembering. How did I do in the Galaxy Monthly? I didn't do very well this month. I got to the end of day 2 last time, but this time I didn't make day 2. I got very close. You know what, Chucky? Chucky is one of the worst ones. That's good. I'm gonna go on the record and say I love Modern as is right now. I think Modern is good at the moment. Again, it is a fine format, but I think it's a little stale, and I think like the problems with it have been problems like for a long time. Now, there was a BNR yesterday, and people were. I think that the average modern gamer wants some changes to the format. I think that, and I don't want to speak for everybody, but I would say that the average modern gamer thinks modern is fine but could be better. And maybe we could even do a poll. How do you feel about modern? Modern is as good as it can get. Maybe that's a bad way to phrase it. Maybe I could say modern is great. Modern is good, could be better. Oh, that's not okay. I guess I'll just say modern is good. Modern is fine. Modern is bad. Modern is awful. Are your options. All right, keeping this on the draw for sure. Inquisition into turn 3, Culling Ritual. I watch a lot. I don't play. Am I allowed to vote? Yeah. If you feel like you have a feeling on the like if you have an understanding to some extent of the format, then of course you're allowed to vote. Maybe a little greedy to not take a pride here, but it's okay. All right, so we do need to find land number 4. It's not here yet. I want to be really all in. Okay. Nice. Nice. And then we took the discharge, so that's a good card to keep here. Crazy majority of the format thinks it's fine. I think it's fine to good. I think it's in this range. I just think it could be better. And another thing too is like also like the way you vote, there's more of like your philosophy. Like do you want to change a fine good format to try to make it better? Do you try to make formats as good as you can with your ban list, or do you just try to do things when things are bad or awful, which is the current approach, which I think is another like alignment chart question you have to ask yourselves. But yeah, this is yeah, fine good is really in my expectations here. I am very excited to go Culling Ritual into Resentful Revelation Icetill this turn. I feel like WotC has some pressure to not change modern. I agree. I do think that is true, although they haven't changed it in over a year. Oh, no, dude. Okay, modern's bad. Modern's bad. We're dead, right? Like the fact that like Inquisition turn 1 to turn 3 Culling Ritual just not enough is so annoying in these games. It's like, and this, this is one of the problems with modern is like Boros is just so tough to place these fair games against, and it's been like this for like 2 years now, you know. And like you can win these games sometimes, and like they're not going to top deck as well as they are sometimes, but it's I think it's bad for the format when you go Inquisition turn 1 and into setup for Culling Ritual turn 3, and you're just dead before you could even cast it, you know. Yeah, I agree. The play patterns as much as that term is meme to death, it is definitely an issue. So I think with this hand, I'm pretty incentivized to take the bombardment and then Sheoldred's Edict the Ragavan. I am a Mana Tithe player arounder these days. I'm not really interested in Fatal Pushing because I know they have second to Johnny, although I guess I'm somewhat interested in keeping another Fatal Push. I think my opponent's a bit more likely to go um, Damping Sphere this turn. Maybe they're going to play second to Johnny, flip a Johnny. Okay. Maybe this made more sense. I guess the Urborg is not online. Next, the Coffers is not online. Maybe if I had played Urborg this turn, we could have baited the sphere. They're not going to Mana Tithe me. Oh my gosh. So they have Damping Sphere. They've got 3 other cards in their hand. One of them is this Arena of Glory. Fortunately, Thraben Charm still kills the Icetill, even if I Fatal Push. Probably worth to push a cat here, gain 3 life. Then they play the Sphere. So them playing the Sphere means I'm not going to be able to Pillage the Bog into Culling Ritual, even if I hit a Cabal Coffers. So let's plot Pillage the Bog. Let's gain 3 life off Cling to Dust. And then let's hold up Fatal Push on their turn. Needing to Fatal Push to not be dead to a Flage ETB. Although I guess I kind of lose to a Flage anyways, because it's just gonna kill me next turn. Although maybe not. No, that's not true. Because if I do find Culling Ritual, then I can use the mana from Culling Ritual to escape Cling to Dust. So they make a cat main phase. No red permanent in play besides a Johnny. I was wrong. You don't need a creature that makes extra ugly tonight. You need a third creature to come with. Okay, I'll look into all these loops tonight, friend, and I do appreciate you brewing this with me today. I'm excited for tonight. It'd be a big brew session tonight. Okay, I did not draw a helpful land, so we are going to look in the top 10 for one of my 4 Culling Rituals. Okay. So I think I'm going to take Icetill Explorer. Yeah, nothing in the bog for us. Yeah, we can't go for Cabal Coffers into Cling because of the Damping Sphere situation. Edict to Kill and Johnny technically lives. It does technically live. I don't know that technically living is like the move. You know what I mean? Like we have enough mana that we can like cycle Cling into like a Culling Ritual next turn, even through the Damping Sphere. They didn't cast Flage. I'm not gonna not play around Flage. Would a removal life gain effect be good over Edict? Edict's like March is really bad against Bombardment. It's maybe a little bit better against Boros overall. They do have the Flage. What a nightmare. Okay. But Edict, the thing is, there are other decks in the format, and Edict is like so important for Kappa Cannoneer and Scion of Draco. I will say, just focusing on the positives from this deck, I do think Fleshblood looked great. I think Fleshblood looked great. I think the fact that we were getting our ass kicked by Boros with like dying on turn 3 before we can cast Culling Ritual after interacting turn 1 is awful, and Modern is flourishing right now. Modern is flourishing right now. It's shining like a sea. I'm gonna raid Ginger, who I think raided me earlier today. I guess took some time off. And I will be back tomorrow. Do have a lot of interesting things on the docket for tonight.